Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about a very important skill that I think every engineer should know how to use. And the reason why I'm bringing this up in the video on YouTube is because I think I saw too many developers, software engineers, who do not really utilize that skill. They have this position of it's not my problem. I accept the status quo and I'm gonna continue adapting to the situation rather than being the one who adapts the situation for themselves. So the skill is called raising your hand. And first of all, let me explain what I mean with this raise your hand concept. And let's go back to the time when you were at the university, or maybe you are still at the university studying software engineering, and you go to this math class or whatever, what interests you. And the teacher is explaining some concept in linear algebra, and then they say something that's not really clear to you. They say something that you don't really understand exactly, and the question is like, what will your first instinct be? So there are two ways you can handle this situation. So the first way is that you write down the concept, and you're gonna think, okay, I'm gonna research that later. I'm gonna understand that better later, but for now, I'm just gonna write it down and skip. Because in math, it's usually like if you miss something, then the next 10 minutes are like irrelevant. And basically you write down and then you're gonna like research it at home. So that's the first scenario. That's the first thing that you can do. The second thing is that you can, well, raise your hand, speak up, say that you do not understand completely what the professor has meant. Say that you are not clear on what was explained. And guess how many students or like how many software engineers would raise their hand? In my experience, there was always one of those people who raised, but for the most part, the people usually just accepted and moved on. And I was not one of those who raised their hand. I was not. I was just like you probably. I wrote down the topic. I would go down to the library and research it in my time at my own pace. And I'm also not saying that you should not do that, but I'm focusing more that you have the ability to raise your hand during the class and engage with the professor, with the source of the information. And it might take you like, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours to like understand the topic on your own. But if you like raise your hand and say, okay, I'm not clear, please repeat that again. It might take like 5 to 10 minutes just to like get yourself back on track and understand the topic from the professor. And you might think that you're the only one who wants to raise your hand. So, but that's not true. So the problem with that assumption is that you think that the people around you understand the topic, and only you don't understand exactly what the professor has said. So this puts pressure on you as a person, because why should you step up when it's obvious that you will be like positioning yourself as a vulnerable person, like as a person who doesn't understand the concept. And again, this is vulnerability, and you're in a classroom full of people. So why should you put all the attention on yourself when you can just like write it down and then, well, do it later without so much stress for your social person. And that's true if you assume that the people that you study are all smarter than you. But how likely is that? How likely is that you are the dumbest person in the room? The answer is quite simple. It's not that likely. And the reason being is that highly likely is that your fellow students also did not understand the topic, also wrote it down, also did not want to deal with the pressure of speaking up, also did not want to like bring all the attention to themselves. So they decided, okay, I'm gonna just do it on my own. And again, this is a viable option, but I think this skill of raising your hand or not raising it, it gets stuck with you for, well, not the rest of your life, but until you unlearn it or learn it. So raising your hand skill is something that's going to be, or is quite useful in a work environment. So imagine if you are in a work meeting, you're discussing some complex project, you're building some complex robotics software or whatever, like a rocket for Elon Musk or whatever, doesn't really matter. So there's people there and you're discussing the feasibility, the deadlines, the estimates, how you're going to build it. You're like sparring with each other, and you notice that you have the gut feeling that something with this module feels wrong, because you've built hundreds of modules before. You have the feeling that this is wrong, like this should be maybe refactored or like redone, re-architectured in a different way. But then you decide, it's not my problem. I don't really care. I'll just take it as is, because smarter people than you have designed this software, so to speak, and you just need to implement that. So what's wrong with that thinking is that, again, you have the assumption that smarter people than you have designed what you're seeing, so have like envisioned this project, and you just need to follow what they say. And again, the assumption is there are smarter people. You just need to follow what they've given you, and that's it. And I'd like you to stop doing that. There is absolutely zero value for you to accept the status quo as is, without questioning, without raising concerns, without bringing your mind to the table, like letting everyone hear your thoughts on why you think this might go wrong. Because the people that are in the room, the people that you're discussing the problem with, they all want the project to succeed. They're not like coming in the room and showcasing you their project because they think that it's unbreakable. They think that it's 100% right, that this is the only way that it can work. No, they're bringing it to you because you were hired as an expert. You have ideas. You can voice your opinion about what they've given you, and it's your job as a software engineer to voice your concerns if you see something wrong. So if you're working, for example, in aviation software, it's your moral responsibility to voice, stand up, raise your hand, whatever, if you see something that doesn't make sense for you as an engineer from the logical perspective. So if you accept the responsibility and say, I don't care about that, I'll just build it as they want me to build it, then you are part of the problem. And I'd like you to be better. Why should you accept that there are people smarter than you when everyone is, mostly similar in ways how we think? Our levels of intelligence is also, quite similar, like average, I would say. So if you think about it, it's always better to voice your concern rather than not speak up. I mean, myself, I also did not understand the importance of speaking up, until way into my career. I usually, I got the task, I did the task, and I enjoyed when it got reviewed, tested, reviewed, and merged in the code base. That was all my job. There was, again, I was a cog in the wheel, a wheel in the, I forgot how I should say it, but again, I was a small part of a bigger system, and I did not really care what happened outside of it. But that's the thinking of a junior to mid developer. So if you want to really grow as a senior developer, you really need to start asking questions and understanding everything around you better. And you not asking questions, you not voicing your concern is your way of saying, I accept the status quo. This is fine. I am fine with how this whole thing is going to be built. And I am part of this project as is. So you basically, you take on responsibility for this project as you see. So you're basically taking on responsibility for something you think is wrong. So how can you justify taking that responsibility if you cannot be 100% with 100% agreed with the solution? And here's an example of how I overcame this limiting factor of raising your hand when needed. Because again, as I mentioned before, when I was in university, I did not really raise my hand as much. But nowadays, I stopped accepting the status quo. I think that the software was designed by the same people as me. They're similar to how they think. They're similar to how they make mistakes. And this is the important part. So everyone makes mistakes. And if I see something wrong, if I see something that I don't understand, that may be way too complicated, I will voice my concern. I will ask to go again through the flow. I will ask the people to explain to me better why exactly was built like that. Because until I'm 100% sure that this is the way how it needs to be, then I will not be feeling, good, in myself, in my skills, because I'm building something that I'm not proud of. And that's always, well, bad for you as a person because you're not 100% behind your job. So what I did, like, I always think, okay, if I ask this question, maybe there's like people in the room who will benefit from this conversation. So I start a conversation just because I think this will be beneficial for everyone to discuss. I think that maybe like this question of mine will spark something in someone else, and there will come a thought that they will see something that maybe I missed, that maybe someone else missed who designed something. And again, like, the goal here is to like build the product that works and build it in until the deadline. So it's important that you voice your concerns, you raise your hand when needed, you speak your mind, so you let people know what's on your mind, even if you think that it will not be directly helpful to the project. Your discussion, your conversation might spark something in someone, and it will lead to something that will be fun. So imagine you're on a football field, not the American football, but like the European football. So, or like normal football, sorry. And basically the goal is like, you don't have to make the goals yourself, but if you give enough passes, like you pass the ball to someone else with your discussion, that will also be beneficial. So if someone else makes a goal after you pass, then that's beneficial to the whole project. And that's why you should ask questions. That's why you should raise your hand and speak up. So I've never met a developer before who doesn't have anything valuable to say. There's always something that someone, even junior developers, can contribute to the discussion. And I've met quite a few developers who had the attitude of, I don't want to speak up, I don't care to speak up, this is not my problem, I don't care about that. But those are not engineers that you should strive to be. Again, it's fine if you want to be like that. It's totally, you can survive the job, but I'd like to think that we are here to be better. I'd like to think that we are here to be the best engineers that we can, and by showing, like, we show a good example to others. And I really hope that what you get from this video is not to be one of the developers who speaks up and says, like who doesn't speak up and who says, I don't care about that, it's not my problem. It's like, I'm just gonna do my task as it is written, I don't care about anything else. Please don't be like that. Again, we're here to be good engineers, we're here to build great products. So I hope you will consider next time you're in a meeting that you can speak up, you can voice your concern, you can ask the person to repeat themselves, ask them to explain the concept better. Be vulnerable. It doesn't matter if you think you're like, people think that you're dumb, because highly likely they won't. Again, it's your imposter syndrome talking, where you think that everyone else is smarter than you and you're just winging it by. Everyone is winging by. Everyone is surviving as they can. Everyone is just like you. And that's why it's like, speak up, not for yourself, but maybe for others. And this will bring your projects to success. So this is basically everything that I want to say about the raising your hand topic. I'm going to talk about some, well, not personal stuff, but like professional stuff, what I'm doing with the channel, what I'm doing with the newsletter. So if that's interesting to you, you can continue listening. If not, you can just like, well, skip to the next one. So I'll see you in the next one, but if you're interested, let's continue discussing. So back to me doing my thing on the internet. Again, I'm new to this. I've gained like, I don't know, 50 followers in the last week or like week and a half, maybe or let's say 2 weeks, because I'm not really tracking that. So I gained 50 followers, which is amazing. That means there's 50 people who want to watch me talk. Again, it's a bizarre number for me, because I never really thought that I'm gonna be speaking on a YouTube video. And again, I appreciate the support, guys, very much. Also girls, if any are watching me, guys and girls, please press like if you enjoyed the video. And the next video is going to probably be something technical. I'm going to talk about maybe the code reviews or database migrations. I'm not quite sure yet. Again, I'm having fun recording this. I hope you're having fun watching this. Please also give me some feedback in the comments, because at this moment I'm not quite sure if what I'm doing is right, if the video quality is good, if the audio is good, if the background is nice, if if I'm speaking clearly. Again, I understand I might have an accent. It's still something that I'm conscious about, but again, as long as you understand me, I'm good. So yeah, I'd like to say that I'd like to get some feedback on this YouTube thing. If you have anything that you'd like to ask me or tell me, please do so in the YouTube channels, or you can also contact me privately via my email. I think it's hi@vadimkravchenko.com. You can find all the link to my site in the description and the email on the website. So yeah, exciting times. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video then. Thanks again for watching till the end.